Welcome along to added time. The Hornets into the hat for the fourth round of the EFL Cup after a victory, beating Swansea City by 2-1 here at Vicarage Road. So here to talk about it, delighted to welcome you back, Mr. Troy Deeney. Hello.
How are we? You alright?
How you doing?
I'm good. Just
that knee looks like it's
spending a bit
right.
more. Yeah, spending a bit more. We're getting there, but yeah, a few more hard sessions away from being back yet. So just enjoying life.
Yeah, well, job done tonight. Wasn't quite as dramatic as that finale against Arsenal, but I guess the boys probably just happy that the job's done.
Yeah, it's about getting the weekend out of the system, innit? And obviously been the subject to ridicule from everyone with obviously the result. And it's just about getting a win and just really some confidence back. I think the Arsenal game showed confidence, but then obviously you would have preferred to play somebody else instead of Man City the week after. So yeah, you have to grow from it, really.
Yeah, I think you said in your programme notes, didn't you? There was lots of sort of boxing analogies made, which I quite liked. But the only good thing, really, to come out of a game like we had at the Etihad is that you have the opportunity in a cup game like tonight to do
exactly.
something about
And it was so fast as well as a few days later, so you can't really have a full week of hangover. But yeah, the boys showed up. Again, a chance for the newer lads and the lads who haven't been playing to stake a claim with a new management. So some lads did all right. It was just an awkward game. And Swansea, they're never that team that are going to not be in the game. They play well, keep the ball, and obviously that then slows down the tempo of what we like to do, which is obviously getting up and counter-attacking teams.
Yeah, that's it. Even though we had this opportunity tonight against a championship side in the League Cup to kind of try and put things... Well, that's it. Yeah. They're a good championship side, are they? And they did. They took it to us tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And again, anyone that saw Swansea the last 10 years, they play the same style even now. So you have to appreciate that, you know, this is a proper foundation that they're working off. And we just literally sit back and go, they were good, but thankfully we got the win and into the hat for the next round. It can only get better, really. That's the term I'll use now.
Yeah, a couple of familiar faces in that Swansea squad as well. George Byers, you say hello to him?
Yeah, Georgie B, that's my little guy. He's grown into a man now, actually. So no, he was good again. He was very good today. He's added a few goals to his game, and I think he'll be a serious player in the next couple of years as well. So he's playing more regularly and probably see him in the Prem in a year or two time.
And Ben Wilmot, who's technically still one of our own, he was hanging around here not too long ago. I don't know if we can... Oh, here he is! That was good timing. Welcome, have a seat. Join us.
How are we? Can we just get in on the new shoes? He never wore shoes like this when he was around us.
Wow. How's it going at Swansea?
Yeah, it's...
There we go.
Yeah, no, it's really good, thank you. Really enjoying it.
Yeah.
And we've started off well, so it's a good place to be.
Yeah, we were just saying, Troy was saying, you know, after the Etihad, which you don't want to spend too much time going over, opportunity to put it right tonight for Watford, but Swansea, you're going great guns, aren't you, in Championship?
Yeah, and I think we've had tough games already. I think we played everybody in the top 6, and we are where we are, so it has been a good start, but we would have liked to have won tonight. I think it was a challenging game, and it was one we were looking forward to because obviously it's like a Premier League team, so we were looking forward to it, but I think everyone's come away sort of disappointed tonight, which is a shame.
Be honest, were they picking your brains a little bit ahead of this one, trying to get the intel from Watford?
I don't want to say
there we go, faces it all, faces it all.
All Ben does is kick everybody anyway, so that would have been it. They don't like it.
Yeah, do you think there was some relief tonight from our point of view that he wasn't involved?
Yeah, of course. Ben's a player. Like, you don't have to... We don't sign...
I'll give you this
players.
mic,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Yeah, Ben's a player. Like, we've had chats for the last 14, 15 months since you've been in, and he knows he's a growing experience. He come obviously from Stevenage as a centre-half, then he got asked to play as a centre midfielder, so he's got different strings to his bow, but his few games he's played for Swansea I've watched, and he's growing again, and I think what we're going to have as a Watford club, no pressure when I say this, mate, by the way, is a proper player that can turn into a captain. I feel like he dominates games, he sees things, needs to talk a bit more, but I'll keep shouting at him and we'll get that into him. But he's going to be a great player, and it's only an asset for Watford.
How do you feel about that then? The current skipper saying you might be one for the future.
Yeah,
no
well,
pressure.
Like I said, no pressure, exactly. Yeah. But no, I mean, it's obviously nice to hear. That's the aim, isn't it?
Is that something you dream about?
What, being captain?
Yeah, a club
yeah,
like this.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, at any club, it's an honour, isn't it? So, yeah, and especially here, obviously, close to home, it would be ideal. So
it's a responsibility as well, isn't it? Like, when you
we'll share this mic. It's all right, Troy. You have that one back.
I'm saying when you're a captain, there's a responsibility as well, and I think that's what he grows in. Like, you're not only the leader here, what people see on a match day, it's what you do, the training ground, and little things that people don't see in it. And I think that's where, when he comes out of his shell a little bit, which he started to with the shoes, you'll see where Ben's all about.
Do you see some of yourself in Ben?
I hope not. I hope he's a lot better than me. I don't really like to talk about myself in this aspect, but I think I like to show it in terms of the hard work, and like we was in pre-season, weren't we? We were both working and stuff in pre-season, should I say. So I think in terms of people seeing it like 31, doing extra days training and just little things like that, and I hope that what I do throughout the course of a year would then change and he could see more than me just put my arm around him and say, do this and do that. I think people show better by actions, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's like a proud dad. It's nice to hear.
No, he's good, but I've known him since, like, he didn't know this, but Glenn Rode used to speak about you a lot at Stevenage, and I know Glenn quite well. So again, I've had an eye on him for a while. So and when Glenn says someone's a player, you have to take note, because he doesn't say that about too many people. So Glenn said it to me, and again, no pressure, but he's the best player centre half he saw, ball player centre half since Rio. Now that's a hell of a statement to make. So you have to appreciate what he's doing, and I'm putting loads of pressure on here, by the way. Don't mean to.
How do you feel about all these sort of big statements being made about you? Are you someone that responds well, would you say, to that kind of pressure?
Yeah, I think I don't let that many things faze me. I think I'm 19. I think I've done quite a lot for my age, so I think I'm quite level-headed and quite relaxed, and I hope it looks like that in my performances as well. But yeah, no, I don't really take that much notice to things like that, but it is nice to hear, and it's always like, it's a confidence booster, isn't it? So yeah, it's nice.
Does it whet your appetite coming back here?
Yeah, definitely. like I love it at Swansea at the moment, and it is really good, but you want to be playing in the Premier League, and so yeah.
Looks like you could be next season.
Well, I hope so. That's the plan.
Going forward, who have you got next in Championship?
We got Reading at home on Saturday.
Okay, well, we'll let you go because it's a long journey home. We appreciate that. Are you living in Swansea?
Yeah.
Twice.
A bit far.
Bit of a commute. Yeah. Well, I spoke to your Roberts earlier, and he lives in Norwich and goes to Wales for all the games that he's covering for Cardiff and Swansea. So.
Well, yeah, but you don't train.
It's a bit of a trick.
You don't train.
Very, very
You've
true.
got to go once a week.
We'll let you go, Ben. It's all right. It's all right. We'll let you go.
Yeah, is that me?
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
No worries. Hopefully, we'll be joined by another guest shortly. Cheers, Ben.
Another guest.
Yeah.
It's a proper talk show, this, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Wow, some big words from you there on Ben Wilmot.
Nah, he's a player. Trust me, he's a player. Whether it happens for him here or another club, he's a player. He's got everything. And I don't really take time to keep an eye on certain players. Like when they leave, I kind of just catch up on Sky Sports, that kind of thing. But he's a player. And he's got to be.
BBC
one.
Sport as well.
Oh yeah, BBC Sport, obviously, because somebody works for them.
Right then, Ben gone. On to the serious stuff. Just wanted
So
you
you say
to...
Ben's a joke? Is that what you said?
No.
Okay.
On to the stuff away from this evening.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, first things first. Let's get an update on your recovery. How's it going?
Yeah, good. I can't really say too much in the sense of, like, I don't want to put time frames on it and stuff, and then everyone holds me to that. But I'm working hard, and I'm doing everything I can to be back. I know that's very cliche to say, but yeah.
You're in a really difficult position. It must be so frustrating sort of watching the way it's panned out as skipper on the sidelines and just not being in a situation where you can
I do it. Sorry.
No, it's all right. Hook off the line tonight, so we'll let him off with that. That's fine.
No, but yeah, it is. It's obviously frustrating because you want to be in there and trying to have some form of influence, whether it be through speaking and obviously and being around the place. But
what are you able to do? What have you been doing?
Just the little things, to be honest, because when the lads go out to train, obviously I'm doing my stuff, and the way it's been working, I've been starting at like 8 o'clock. So by the time I'm at the pool and what have you, they're already out to train. So we're kind of missing each other. So it's limited in terms of what I can do.
But you have had time to sort of sit with everyone and...
yeah, like just try to do it in small pockets and try to affect a few people and then hope that will knock on other things. But it's tough. Like when you look at some of the goals that City scored, it's like, what do you expect? That they scored after, 58 seconds or something like that? And it's...
Do you feel like the lads probably needed you that day? You're kind of guiding them on the pitch?
No, that's unfair for me to sit there and go, yeah, because if it was me, it would have been this, because that didn't happen in the final. So I can't really sit and take credit for that. But no, I just think in certain elements. My probably toughness and mental toughness might help in certain elements, but it'll be very interesting to see how the next 2 games play out, and that's when we'll know kind of where we're at really.
Yeah. What's confidence like going into those, especially after tonight? Will tonight have made an impact?
Yeah, of
There's
course
a
it
lot
will.
of changes, but
Yeah, of course it would have, because you're in a winning team, and the other guys now will naturally go, right, I can train well this week and hopefully be looking to start, because obviously if you lose 8-0, I don't want to put pressure on the gaffer, but you'd expect some form of changes, whether it be formation or a few players. So guys will be trying to, say, can I be playing, and do it in their performances. So it'd be interesting. And obviously Welbs has scored tonight, so that's good to get him off the mark. And he's obviously a huge threat going forward, and his record speaks for itself.
We'll talk more about Danny in a second, but just going back to Kike, what's it been like linking up with him again? Have you seen much of him? Have you been,
Obviously Gaffer's always in early, so we kind of see each other before the other lads come in. But no, he's the boss, hasn't he? We and him have always been respectful and great to each other, and he's just been fine. It's real strange. Like, people think that I have this influence on, like, if the gaffer could be good or not. Like, I'm same as everybody else. He's my boss,
but
and
I
just
think
told.
there's probably the assumption that he would have come to you because there has been a bit of a change in personnel.
Yeah,
since he was last
100%.
here, so
He has done that. But again, there was me, Caps,
Yeah.
Seb, Gomi, like Craigie Cathcart, Holobas. He's come to all of us and kind of lent on us as better the devil you know, I suppose, is the best way to describe it. So he's come and spoke to us on a few occasions, but to be fair, he's been clear and very precise with his objectives in terms of what he wants to do and what he wants to create. But again, he come in the week leading up to Arsenal, and then you win that game, and then you go straight to Man City. So it's real difficult to gauge what, for him and for us, where we're at this moment in time.
We talk about manager bounce. Is that something you feel as players, especially when the new manager's an old manager?
Yeah, you do. You do feel that. And I think Arsenal summed that up. Like, if you looked at forgetting the game before international break.
Help someone.
Someone
Was
help.
it West Ham? Newcastle. That's
Sorry, good save. But if you look at that game, and again the West Ham game as well, there wasn't much in it, but we just lost. Like the West Ham game, I think obviously if Husey scores that chance, we go on to win the game then. But then we was like Neely's, and it was a bit flat and it was a bit off. And then next thing you know, we change and it's become a real thing. And we've got Mr. Welbeck, I believe. And this geezer's having a stinker as well. Yeah, mate, down there. Unless you want to go and put
Danny
it in the goal.
Welbeck, come and join us. Come and sit down. Join us. Have a seat.
Don't worry, mate.
Right, no more of that language, please. We are live.
What is that then? I don't go, mate.
Have a seat.
Oh, he smells beautiful, doesn't he, the boy?
He does.
Beautiful.
Very good. Welcome. Good to have you on the score sheet tonight. I bet that felt pretty good for you.
Yeah, it was good to be back on the pitch and getting involved, and it's nice to get a goal, and obviously we got the win and we're through to the next round, so it was important.
Yeah. We've not really spoke to you yet. How are you finding Watford?
Yeah, I've been hiding from you, Sana. Troy's been keeping me, just keeping me in the corner, but it's been good. Obviously, I've want to be involved in matches more and stuff like that, but I've got to take it slow. It's been a long time since I've played a run of games, a run of matches. So yeah, I'm just working hard behind the scenes and trying to get myself in the best shape possible.
On that note, I'm going to ask you the question: are you fit?
Yeah, I'm fit. I played tonight, didn't I?
Right.
Played 90 minutes as well, which is obviously important.
So you're Premier League match ready?
Yeah, I'm
Jesus.
This
is the report that I apologise.
Fans do want to see a lot more of you. You must know that.
I want to be out on the pitch. I want to. That's it. That's why I've come. I want to be playing football, and I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, I can start playing on the weekends then.
Yeah. I guess have you trained much yet together? Probably
Never.
not. It's not been an overlap.
Yeah. Since you came in.
A couple sessions.
We did. The Everton.
Yeah, Everton.
Yeah, the week leading up to Everton, we trained a few times, and then obviously I got injured at Everton, so it kind of 3 or 4 days maybe, something like that. But naturally, for like people like myself, you want people like Welbs in the building. Look at his resume; it speaks for itself. But he then has a level of professionalism that makes me go, right, I need to step up again. So he's good. He keeps me on my toes. But we've known each other before like before he came in. So it's always easier to have a relationship and an understanding.
Yeah, do you feel with that you've been able to sort of settle into the squad quite quickly?
The lads have been great, you know. Obviously, I knew a few people before I came here, and
Who else did you know?
Everyone from Man United. That's the
give us a
worst
name.
question you've ever
That's
said.
easy, yeah.
No, but it might not. You know, who are the ones you know well?
Well, the ones from Man United.
Yeah, the ones from Man United.
Yeah, so I know them well. Craig, Clevs, Fozzie.
Yeah.
Obviously, as Troy said before, we've bumped into each other quite a few times, and just
Nate for England
Nate
as well.
for
innit?
England.
I bet you two are looking forward to training together when that day does come, right?
Well, us two.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we want to get Troy fit as soon as possible, you know. So it makes it competitive for the squad, and you know how much he brings to the team when he's in the side. So. It'll be good. It'll be really nice to play with him.
This probably hasn't been the start you expected from Watford when you signed on the dotted line to join us, was it?
No, obviously, you're in the Premier League, and you know every single game's going to be tough, and you've got to go into that match, and you've got to give everything. And the results haven't been the greatest for us, but it's something now where we've got to look back on, and we've got to improve upon this, and we can look back at the games, analyse where we've gone wrong, and you know we started tonight. We've got to win, and we've got to try and build upon that.
I don't know how much you both use social media or engage with fans in general, but when they look at the table and they see some of the performances, I think it is quite easy to catastrophise and think, oh no, this is not a good season. We're going to be in a relegation fight. From two guys that are in this squad, how confident are you both that this side can turn it around?
I'll let you answer that, but I'll let them get in trouble. Go on.
Troy, we'll let you pick your words.
Yeah.
We'll come to you first, Danny.
Yeah, well, I say I've trained for a few weeks now, and I've seen the quality of the players in the team, and it's not shown on the weekends. Like I think we've been a bit unlucky sometimes with the results. Some of the performances have deserved to get a better result, and so I've seen the quality that we have within the team, and I know that we can definitely hurt the rest of the Premier League teams. So I think once we put performances together consistently, and you know build upon that, then I think we can definitely climb that table.
Yeah, we certainly saw that in the Arsenal game, particularly in the second half. This team does have what it takes. Go on, Troy.
Yeah, but I think when you're just comparing it to last year, obviously we started really well last year, so to emulate that would have been very difficult, because I think it took us 30 odd years to do that anyway. But I think like key moments in games, and it meant when you score, you know, like I was saying before, the Hughesy chance in the West Ham game, you scores that, you're on the front foot and you go in, and I'll probably go on to win the game again.
Dukes with that opportunity right at the end of the Arsenal
like
game
just
as well.
little bits like that, and you don't want to highlight just the, the goal score, because obviously we've been unlucky at Newcastle when they come out and said it should have been a handball. So there's elements where there's a little bit of luck going against us, but you can't sit and moan and go, it's going to be a bad season. What are we, 6-7 games in? Like, the season's not defined on that. Ultimately, you don't want to be on the bottom of the table and looking up the whole time. But like you said, there's quality in here, but the main quality that's needed now is hard work and resilience, and not to fold. Because as you saw tonight at half-time, some fans were a bit like iffy, and you're like, 6 games in.
Yeah.
So there has to be a sense of realism, and
I guess as well, these fans don't see what you guys do in training, you know.
100%, but at the same time, there's realisation of where we're at. We're not spending 50 million on centre-halves.
Yeah.
We're not paying people 200 grand a week. Like, we're still Watford, we're still learning, we're still building. But when we win together. When we lose together. And that's where I think we're getting a little bit lost in the connection between fans and players. Don't get me wrong, lose 8-0, you deserve to get battered. We all do. We will take that on the chin. But at the same time, when we win, be with us. Don't know what's happened there.
Overexcited fans, yeah. Is that from the Swansea end, actually? I'm not sure. Anyway, sorry, do carry on.
I don't know. Nobody instantly like, yo, big man. But no, that's it. I just think we're growing. And ultimately, again, changing manager, you've got to find your best team, best formation. And we've got a lot of attacking talents now. So how do you mould that and get everyone playing and everyone clicking at the same time? It's difficult.
So the message then, fine margins, bit of bad luck so far. Errors there as well.
And some bad performances.
But generally speaking, don't panic. We're 6 games in.
We can't panic yet. We can't panic. Yeah. What if we start panicking? Then what does that transmit?
Yeah. And Danny, would you agree that there's still a level of confidence in this squad?
Yeah, definitely. It's time to, within these tough times that we've been going through, it's where you got to knuckle down and work hard, as Troy said. You're not going to shy away from it because it's not going to take you nowhere in any walk of life. So I think it's time to work hard and knuckle down and get going.
And a really brief word then, looking ahead to this game at Molineux. Wolves in a very similar position to us, really, aren't they? I think everyone had high expectations ahead of this season, but it does look as if it is that same narrative. They're struggling to balance the Europa League football with their Premier League football. But you must look at that and think there is an opportunity here on Saturday. Yeah,
definitely. I think it's one where we go there and we want to get our first win of the season in the Premier League, and that's what we're going to aim to do, and we're going to work hard these next couple of days and leading into the weekend.
Troy, final word from you as captain ahead of that one.
I think same as well, and if I'm. Oh, he's had a bit of a stinker. He's had a stinker. No worries, mate.
You can't see, but we've got some kit on the way out here, and there's a little ramp they have to go down, and it always causes a few problems.
As
you can probably hear, the little wheels in the background on that
Put your back into it, kid. Go on. There you go. He's good. Well done.
Go on then, let's wrap this up.
Sorry, I was just saying, I think Wolves will be looking at it the same as us. Both teams won't want to lose in the sense of you're losing ground, but they'll be looking at us saying we could probably get them and score goals, and we'll be looking at them and going, we could get at them and score goals.
Well, let's not forget last year's result. We went there and took it to them that City couldn't even do.
Exactly, yeah, but it's one of them ones where it plays out for it. It's either going to be 4-4 or it's going to be like a real boring, tight affair, but the way both teams like to attack and the way they try and attack, I think there'll be goals in it, and I just hope we could get the win. We're a win away from it kick-starting the season, and then you go, oh, there's another one. He's nearly gone. He's nearly gone. He's nearly gone.
Oh no, it's good.
Yeah, you get a win, and then you come in again to a game here, Sheffield United at home. That should have, obviously, if we have a win, everyone should be up.
Yeah.
And you're trying to beat them and go into the international break with 6 points.
Yeah.
From 2 games, and you're going, all right, this is where we kick on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks ever so much for your time tonight, Troy, and you,
worries.
Danny. Well done getting on the score sheet. Great stuff. That's it from us on Added Time. We will be with you again from Molineux for more reaction from that game we were just talking about against Wolverhampton Wanderers. The Hornets are in the hat for the 4th round of the EFL Cup after tonight's victory over Swansea City. I think that draw is being made tomorrow night, so Wednesday evening. So do keep an eye out from that for that. But from us, it is goodbye.
Are you?
Yeah. Do you remember it?
Click here, or here. I'm joking. See, I can still be fun at 31. I can still be fun.